There are moments in history when silence speaks louder than words, and inside Zarzuela Palace, the air has become thick with unspoken truths. Decisions are being made behind tightly closed doors, and those decisions, though cloaked in protocol and discretion, are causing ripples of tension so sharp, so deeply personal, that not even the polished exterior of royal life can conceal them anymore. What's unfolding inside the majestic yet often misunderstood walls of Spain's royal residence isn't a matter of politics or diplomacy, but rather something far more intimate and revealing, an emotional storm that is shaking the very foundations of the monarchy from within. Inside the heart of Spain's most powerful family, Queen Letizia stands at the center of a growing rift. Once seen as the unshakable consort to King Felipe VI, Letizia now faces scrutiny not from the public alone, but from within the palace itself. The silence between rooms has become louder than conversations, glances exchanged at official functions carry more weight than speeches, and a quiet war of principles seems to have ignited within the royal quarters. This is not the kind of conflict that can be written off with a statement from the royal press office. This is personal. Painfully personal. Those who have long observed the Spanish royal family know well that Letizia Ortiz Roquesolano's journey to royalty was not a traditional one. A former journalist, she entered the monarchy with a modern spirit and determination that many admired, and others quietly resented. Her rise from a middle-class background to Queen of Spain was heralded as a new era for the monarchy, an embodiment of progress and reform. But in royal life, change does not always come easy, and with time, friction replaced celebration. Beneath the surface of grace and elegance, a deepening divide has grown. Tensions that once simmered in whispers now echo down the halls of Zarzuela. Sources close to the palace speak in hushed tones of a fracture, one that has been forming for years. It isn't about protocol missteps or political gaffes. It's about relationships, trust, and wounds that never healed. The tension that surrounds Queen Letizia today is not one born of public scandal, but of private betrayal. Within her own circle, within the walls that should offer her refuge and support, there are whispers of coldness, of resentment, of a queen increasingly isolated by those who should stand beside her. And the most haunting part, this emotional isolation may be by design. Insiders reveal that Queen Letizia has, in recent months, distanced herself from key figures within the royal family, most notably, her in-laws. While the relationship between Letizia and Queen Sofia has long been the subject of tabloid speculation, recent events have brought their strained bond into clearer focus. Public appearances marked by forced smiles and stiff interactions have only fueled the narrative. But now, it's not just Sofia. Others, too, appear to be drawing lines in the sand. The queen consort finds herself surrounded not by allies, but by careful observers. Every move scrutinized, every word weighed. What has caused this fresh wave of tension? It is said that a decision made in private, perhaps about the upbringing of her daughters, Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia, has stirred conflict behind the scenes. Letizia, fiercely protective of her daughters and determined to raise them with independence and strength, may have clashed with more traditionalist views in the family. Her insistence on modern education, freedom of expression, and emotional intelligence over rigid royal customs has divided opinion in Zarzuela. And King Felipe, caught between the woman he married and the institution he was born to protect, is reportedly struggling to maintain balance. Those close to Felipe describe him as a man torn. His devotion to Letizia is unquestioned, yet the pressure from family, advisors, and tradition weigh heavily on his conscience. The king's silence, his carefully neutral expressions at public engagements, reveal a man walking a tightrope, desperate not to fall, yet increasingly aware that every step could bring disaster. He knows that personal happiness and royal duty often do not walk hand in hand. And now, as the monarch of a country that has grown weary of scandal and longing for stability, he finds himself in an impossible position. Letizia, for her part, refuses to retreat. Her strength, admired by many, feared by some, remains her most defining trait. She walks into official events with composure, never letting the cameras capture the weariness behind her eyes. She remains a staunch advocate for women's rights, education, and social equality. But even her most public triumphs cannot shield her from the battles raging in private. When the cameras turn off, and the palace gates close, Letizia returns to a reality that is far from regal serenity. Every corridor whispers secrets, every gesture is analyzed, and every word could be the spark that ignites another silent conflict. It's not just internal whispers fueling the fire. The Spanish press, ever curious and occasionally ruthless, has begun picking up on the subtle shifts in dynamic. Coverage of Queen Letizia's solo appearances has intensified. Questions about her role, her influence, and her future are being asked more openly than ever before. Could a deeper crisis be looming? Could this tension be a precursor to something greater, a redefining of roles, a reshuffling of power, or even a reimagining of the monarchy itself? Adding to the storm is the generational gap. Princess Leonor, now taking on more public duties as heir to the throne, represents both promise and pressure. Letizia's influence over her daughter is strong, and some within the royal structure are reportedly uneasy about it. They fear Leonor may inherit not just her mother's poise and intelligence, but also her fierce independence, an attribute that could challenge the monarchy's deeply ingrained traditions. Those who uphold the old ways feel threatened, while others see in Leonor the future Queen Spain desperately needs. The palace, in typical royal fashion, has remained silent. No public statement, no denial, no confirmation. But actions speak louder than press releases, and the shifts are unmistakable. Letizia's increasingly separate schedule, her lack of joint appearances with key family members, and the quiet recalibration of power dynamics all tell a story far louder than any royal decree. Behind every smile at state banquets lies a different narrative, one where loyalty is tested, and unity is more fragile than ever before. The emotional toll cannot be understated. Queen Letizia is not just a royal figure, she is a mother, a wife, a woman who walked into the monarchy with hope and purpose. To see that vision dimmed by internal discord is a tragedy not just for her, but for the very institution she represents. Yet she endures, with grace, with fire, with the quiet dignity of someone who refuses to be broken by the weight of a crown or the coldness of a palace. What happens next remains unclear. Will the rift widen, or can healing take place behind closed doors? Can King Felipe mend the divide, or will he be forced to choose between his queen and his legacy? As Spain watches silently, the fate of its royal family may well depend not on policy or politics, but on the strength of one woman's heart and the decisions made when no one is watching. And now, we turn the question to you, dear viewer. In a monarchy built on appearances and tradition, can personal truth and emotional honesty ever truly thrive? Or are the cracks in the crown a sign of something far more profound? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment for more exclusive royal updates.